he has with the Uganda Premier League Secretariat. We take a look.
We are at the Uganda Premier League offices here in Mengo, and we've come to have a conversation with the new head of communications at the Uganda Premier League. That is Bonaventure Binoti Ewo, after he effectively took up the role on 1st February 2025. We want to get to know what actually prompted him to take up the role as head of communications, but also what skills does he bring to the table and where does he look to change in communication in Uganda's top flight of men's football. It is an interesting conversation, and he did not leave out any of the details. Let's have a listen.
I've been in the department before. I've been as the digital media manager or digital media officer, where I was concerned with the social media handles and the website. But then transitioning into the head role gives me a wider scope. Now I have to deal with the external media, I have to manage the brand communications and make sure that communications being sent out there is befitting of the organization that we are. But nothing much changes in the workflows. There's been growth from where I began my journey in communications from. And it's not that I'd wake up one morning and decide I would want to be head of communications at the league. But it takes me back to 2015. So 2015 I joined campus. I was at Mpologoma University, proudly associated. And I enrolled for my 4-year undergraduate degree. In the process, back then, most telecommunication companies began giving customer support online. So one time I asked myself a question: how come I send messages to the university and no one responds to me? Months down the road, I approached the PR, the senior public relations officer, Mr. Semanda Joseph Collins, who has been very impactful in my career growth in PR and comms. So he tells me, Bona, you know what, we can work together. I mean, I was a student, I was like, let me give back to the university. By then I also joined the Rotary Club of Mpologoma University, and where I was doing some PR work for them. So in that process, I primarily started doing social media management, reading articles, I mean, making myself available to read any resource available in terms of digital communications. So down the line, I do good work for the university, and my football club, our football club, Mpologoma University FC, was promoted to the Uganda Premier League. By then they didn't have a media officer, and one of the requirements of the Uganda Premier League was to have a media officer. That's how I'm assigned from my role with the university into sports. That's how I enter football. I do one season, I create a lot of buzz. I think I'm one of those who began banter in UPL. Honestly, yeah. If you go check, I think the account is still active, Mpologoma University FC, for back then, that I think it was 2017-18. Okay, one of those seasons. Okay. I created a lot of banter towards the end of the season, and we were relegated, in fact. I think by KCCA or Nduparaka, I don't know. I remember one of those matches, it was at Mpologoma. Yeah. So we are relegated back to the big league, and asked myself, Big League doesn't have social media presence. I created the handles for Big League. I managed them for about a year, and but I'd already sent a message to the FUFA Communications Director, Ahmed, saying, and I told him, you know, us in social, we believe in securing handles. You don't want someone else to have your brand identity. So I secured the handle. I told them, you know, if you ever want the handle, please. But I created on Facebook, I created on X. Back then it was called Twitter, and I created on Instagram. Currently, they are fully functional. It's a proud job. So that's how I end up in football. Fast forward, I get spotted. One thing about football is good work pays. Someone will always spot you out. So I was spotted, and I began supporting the FUFA Communications team, managing some of the accounts. I began small. As of now, I won't get into the details, but yeah, it's now a bigger responsibility. But then down the line, the league also needed some improvement. There was a personal initiative that I wanted. There was a personal goal I had for the league. And I began as a volunteer. It's not that I've just transitioned recently. I was a volunteer for about 9 months, I think. Yeah, 9 months. In digital, I was mostly social, yes. I was in social for about about 9 months. I was volunteering. After that, they gave me a contract, 2 years. I was part-time. So it's during that time that I now expanded my renown to the websites. I mean, overseeing some of these other things that I would be able to do, as other leagues do. You know, at times you have to copy from the best. So fast forward, the 2 years ended on 3rd January this year. And that's when now we got back to the discussions. My contract has expired. What do we do? So by then I think I was up in Lira.
On holiday?
I mean, we worked until 29th. 31st I had to travel. I was in Lira, and the engagements have been fruitful, and that has brought me now to where I am as head of communications. Okay. A role that is, like I said, a natural stepping stone to something, but then it gives me a wider perspective of things I would love to implement on a broader perspective, okay, with involvement of the clubs, the external media, and supporting our marketing team. Okay. That's a little broad, but gives the gist. One thing I'm appreciative of the FUFA Communications Director, Mr. Ahmed, is saying is that he gives one opportunity for growth. He grows you as a person. So I've been given assignments over time, and this has enabled me engage with the external media per se. I remember last year in July, no, it was June, the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, where we played Botswana and Algeria. That was my first national team assignment. And when they gave me the role as a media officer of the national team, they gave me only 2 comments. Bona, you have done it all. You did it at club level. You are now navigating a bigger space, but it's the same thing. You have the skill set, you have good relations with most of these people. I know you'll manage. So that gives me the confidence in what I do, and that there are very many people there who would love to work with me. On day one, I did something very simple. On first, after the communications went out on social media and on our website, I did something very small. I just got the email lists of the media personnel, and I sent them an introduction mail. Because these are people I'm going to be working with, so I introduced myself to them. And the responses were very positive. There's one who reminded me to involve God in my work. There's one who told me it's good that I'm reaching out to them and I'm valuing their contribution in the space of football. So I think I started off on a good note. I mean, we have a good relationship with the external media, and I don't think it would be something. There's a lot of room for us to collaborate. Collaborating, I mean, with clubs, because these are our stakeholders. The Secretariat wouldn't be there if we didn't have the clubs. Our work as the Secretariat is to support the clubs and liaise with the clubs, because these are the members that constitute us. So there's room for us to collaborate more and make sure the brand is speaking the same language. Now, this will later on translate into the marketing efforts of the marketing department that are also having their line of efforts that they're trying to do. So at my end, it's more about brand consistency, professionalism in there, because people want to associate with an organization that is professional enough. People want to associate with a brand that is strategic in its communications and know how to handle its stakeholders. So that's basically what I'm trying to look at in relation to the clubs. At the moment, I'm into creating the strategic plan that I intend to follow, and that will guide the efforts, other than waking up every morning and deciding, oh, today let me do this, oh, today let me do this. It's good to have a guideline that shapes the day-to-day efforts of Bonaventure, the individual. My role is basically to liaise with the team. There's a team I work with, and just to ensure that there's timely content, there's accurate information, and the fans feel the match is brought closer to them. You notice there began to be in-match videos from, I think, late the other season. Last season, it was just a continuation of what was started. And this was an initiative of Star Times, the broadcaster. They signed up for a platform that enables us, one of the stakeholders in the promotion of the league, create in-game video content on the spot. Some of these are already created, but I need to give a third eye and to listen to the commentary and probably at times edit the cuts so that what goes out there is something that will actually entice the fan. So that's what's expected during the season, part of what's expected in the digital sense. But also in the new role, I liaise with the office of the CEO and just to ensure that the league's public relations and media strategy is in line. Also look at the content creation I talked about, it overseeing the team, but also enhancing brand visibility, because it goes beyond digital. It goes to the emails I began with. Because if I have content I've created, I have resources at my disposal from the clubs. When you share it out there, then more people will interact with the content and use the content to further the image of the league. Supporting the clubs, I need to. There are those that are at 100, there are those that are at 50. Supporting clubs is just making sure that we can find a way of enhancing their communications departments. And maybe they'll need 1 or 2 trainings here and there and consultations. And some of this can be worked on either on one-on-one basis or as a group. I'll begin by reaching out to them, but then we shall build on from there. But that relationship is very important. It's very important. Because in the total scope of sense, the total following in the UPL, the league alone, the Secretariat has a following of about 200,000. Those who are like followed the accounts, they're about 200,000. The clubs have about 1.3 million in total. So giving us a total audience of about 1.5 million. It's important that we shape the narratives of the conversations going out there. Because this is a large audience. 1.5 million people following content of the league is not a small feat, it's a very big feat. So we need to tailor our content to match, and so that each and every stakeholder, I mean the clubs, are communicating at the same, can I call it quality? Okay. Same standard? Same standard, yes. Same standard, and it would be good for us. That's why club stakeholder management is very important. Now, I think communications are also, like you say, it's one of the arms that support the growth of the competition, because with effective communications, then the brand can grow. When the brand grows, then the marketing picks on, continues building on the same. So if we're communicating at the current world standards, then that's a contribution that can be worth building on, because the best trends are out there. People are innovating every day. You blink, something new is out there. People are now using AI a lot. How does AI fit into the communications plan? People fear that these systems will come and eventually take over people, let people jobless. It's our job to make it seamless. It comes to assist. You have the technical knowledge, or maybe you need some data analyzed. How do you analyze the data? Do you want to begin from scratch, or do you want to begin from a draft and build? But it's a joint. So I feel communications has that role to embrace emerging technologies in building the brand that other partners or other stakeholders can build on to make it that product that we want. give it the value that it wants. Stakeholders should expect consistency in communication, improvement from where we were in the first round. We need to get something new. We need to take it a step higher, and much more involvement, fan involvement, stakeholder involvement. I won't get into the specifics because here at Secretariat you need to support everyone the same way. But yeah, it's been entertaining. But no, I don't. I don't affiliate myself with any of the teams. Okay. But I'll just look at it in this process that we need to give that same thrill to the fans in the communication. We need to keep that momentum going so that the fan looks at the content and like, oh wait, what's going on in the league? No, think of getting involved and probably going to attend the matches or even watching on TV. These are things that I look forward to. That happens when you have very many venues and the league's been going to be determined in the last minute. So we don't know what the season holds for us, but let's see what happens. I mean, we shall be ready for whatever situation that is put to us. Thank you very much for coming to the UPL Secretariat offices, our home. All right. Okay.